Hey guys, welcome back to our channel Accounts Gurukul. So today we are going to cover the three most critical processes in the finance and accounting. So we have to understand that there are certain most critical processes in the finance and accounting that we are going to cover today. तो वो क्या है जो most important processes है वो आज हम देख लेंगे and entire finance and accounting में अगर if you see तो उसमें that entire structures जो depend है that's depend upon these are three more critical processes. So if we are aware about that, so based on that we can able to understand ki what steps are involved into each and every processes, so that we are going to just know from the introduction standpoint from this video, and from the next videos we are going to cover the entire steps for that particular processes. We are creating some more videos related to that, and for each and every steps out of these processes there are a number of job opportunities are there that we are also going to discuss in this video. So before going to go into the depth, so I just want to give the some brief introductions about this all most three critical processes. So based on that, you are able to just aware about that, know about that. There are certain processes and very essentials from accounting and finance standpoints. So that's first. Procure to pay. If most of the in the finance world, it knows that P2P. So procurement to pay. परचेज से लेके पेमेंट तक, तो अपने को कुछ ऑर्डर करना है, परचेज करना है, सो दैट रिक्विजिशंस मतलब जो रिक्वेस्ट है वहां से लेके परचेज करना एंड परचेज करके पेमेंट करना उसका, तो ये जो साइकिल है पूरा वो P2P प्रोक्योरमेंट टू पे, प्रोक्योर टू पे में कवर हो जाता है. सिमिलरली ऑर्डर टू कैश O2C. सो अपने को वी हैव सम बिजनेस एंड वी हैव टू डिलीवर सर्टेन services, certain materials to the customers, तो उसका order आना, and from the order to deliver the material, raising the invoice, and against that we got and we received some money and to apply that money against that invoices. जो पूरा cycle है जो from order आना वहां से सेल करने तक and सेल करके collection पैसा भी आ गया, that money we applied against that invoice, that entire cycle is covered into the O2C. The third one is record to report. So जो ये ट्रांजेक्शन हो रहा है P2P, O2C, तो ये रिकॉर्ड बेस्ड ये सब एक GL में होता है, सब लेजर में होता है, दैट्स SL, एंड SL का डेटा जो है सब लेजर का वो GL में फ्लो होता है, and this is all ERP structures. So Oracle, SAP works in this module for P2P, O2C, R2R, but in general as well for other accounting, these all processes are there and it's going to be applicable to everyone. So that's reasons we have to understand that. So record to report says that ये सब लेजर से डेटा फ्लो होके जनरल लेजर में चला जाता है, based on that general ledgers, so then we are able to generate the trial balance, and based on that trial balance we can able to create the P&L, balance sheets, whatever report we require for that, so we are able to pull out from the R2R. Very most critical processes and base, and for each and every processes there are n number of job opportunities are there. So that's reasons is procurement to pay, order to cash, and record to report. These three processes are very critical in finance and accounting, and that's we are here to understand that, and we'll just go with the brief introductions, and from the next video, as I said, we are going to cover the fun video on every steps. So if you see in procurement to pay, there are around 16 steps are there. So we are going to come up with the 16 videos for that entire P2P, similarly for O2C, and similarly for record to report. So now today we are going to cover importance of the processes. So what's the importance of this process and why these processes are essentials? Introductions of procure to pay. So we are introductions देखेंगे अपन उसका कि क्या है P2P. सिमिलरली इंट्रोडक्शंस ऑफ ऑर्डर टू कैश O2C भी अपन समझ लेंगे कि हाउ इट्स मीनिंग फॉर दैट, introductions of record to report, that's also we are going to cover here. And the last and very essential to understand what's the job opportunity in each process is. So the last slides are going to create the magic, and it's very essential to understand because in last slides we have given the real examples from the Google. So what and how many jobs are there in the market for each and every processes. So request viewers to watch the video till the end, and it's very essential from the introduction standpoint to understand all these processes. So here importance of the processes, why these processes are important. किसी भी यहाँ पे देखो कि किसी भी system में there are certain secret weapons and ultimate supplement to speeding up your organization's growth and timeline. So there are certain processes everywhere. If you see into the every processes, everywhere there are certain secrets, there are some standard protocols are following people to achieve the success. So that's reasons the processes is very important, and it's going to be uh, ensure the proper compliances standards in your accounting process is an integral to pressing forward. So that's reasons these all processes are very essential. Knowing the difference between the three most popular operational processes and is essential to understand the processes your organization needs to make more efficient. तो जैसे प्रोसेस बहुत एसेंशियल है, हर टिप्स there are certain compliances are there, and if you have a strong processes, then it's going to be make more efficient of your organizations. Here we are provided a quick rundown of what each processes entails, the steps related to them, and identified why they are important. अपन ने इसमें कवर किया हुआ है कि ये प्रोसेसेस क्यों इम्पोर्टेंट है एंड उसमें कौन से टिप्स अवेलेबल है एंड व्हाई दैट each steps is more important. So again, whether you're new to the financial operations space or just needed a little refresher, here are the different but critical processes that we know as P2P, R2R, and O2C. You guys most heard this name, but it's very essential to understand that as well. So P2P, procurement to pay, R2R, record to report, and O2C, that's order to cash. So here we have to understand the introductions of P2P. So P2P क्या है? What's this P2P? The process covers the supply management process from organizations that requires procuring the goods and services to pay for them. तो ये कुछ manufacturing करने के लिए there are certain raw materials also is required. So that raw material जो है वो purchase करना and purchase करके उसका पेमेंट करना उस वेंडर का, तो वो सब स्टेप्स जो स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द रिक्विजिशन, तो रिक्वेस्ट करना फॉर परचेसिंग, वंस यू अप्रूव दैट रिक्वेस्ट तो उसका ऑर्डर करके उसको पेमेंट करना मटेरियल आने के बाद. सो ये जो फ्लो है कि रिक्वेस्ट से लेके पेमेंट तक, सो दैट एंटायर फ्लो is known by P2P, procurement to pay. So that we have to understand here कि उसमें कौन से steps involved है. So if you see there are around 16 steps involved into P2P, procurement to pay, and ये हर steps में हर जगह पे there are some job opportunities are there in the market. So for each step we are going to create videos, and that's going to be coming to the upcoming videos. So that's reasons this is just a brief introductions about the steps. Identification of the requirement. So before going to place the order कि मुझे ये purchase करना है, first I need to understand the requirement कि मेरा क्या requirement है, that I have to identify that. मेरे को कुछ manufacturing करना है, तो before going to manufacture that मेरे को क्या लगने वाला है, raw materials, कौन सा raw material लगने वाला है, that's identification of requirement. ऑथराइजेशन ऑफ परचेस रिक्वेस्ट, तो मैंने रिक्वेस्ट तो रेज किया कि मेरे को ये परचेस करना है, मेरे को कुछ टूल्स परचेस करने हैं, आई एम गोइंग टू क्रिएट सम फर्नीचर, तो सम स्क्रूज एंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स इज रिक्वायर्ड. सो दैट रिक्वायरमेंट मैंने रेज किया, पीआर रेज किया, परचेस रिक्वेस्ट रेज किया, एंड आई गॉट द फाइनल अप्रूवल ऑन दैट परचेस रिक्वेस्ट एज वेल. मेरा पीआर अप्रूव भी हो गया, एंड द नेक्स्ट स्टेप्स इज देयर आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ द सप्लायर. तो मेरा फाइनलाइजेशन हो गया, मुझे क्या प्रोक्योरमेंट करना है, Then I have to identify the suppliers. When a supplier be identify किया, then I have to go to the inquiries into the market. So इंक्वायरी किया सप्लायर के पास में, रिसिप्ट ऑफ द कोटेशन, मेरे को कोटेशन भी आ गया. Then I have to get some more quotations. I have to do the 2-3 vendors follow up, get the quotation from them, and now I have to do the negotiations with that vendors कि मैंने quotation भी लेके आया. Based on that quotations, then we have to do the negotiation with the vendors, because we have to identify the best vendors who's going to provide the quality product but with lesser price. So that's reasons we have to do the negotiation with them. इसका अलग ही डिपार्टमेंट है हर स्टेट्स का. पीआर परचेस रिक्विजिशन का भी एक अलग डिपार्टमेंट है. परचेस ऑर्डर का भी एक अलग डिपार्टमेंट है. That's the direct purchase, indirect purchase. So direct purchase for direct material, indirect purchase for non-manufacturing materials. So everywhere there are some job opportunities in this entire steps. Selection of the vendor. So based on the negotiations, we have to identify some vendors, and now we have selected the vendor as well. Then we have to move on to the purchase order acknowledgement. We have to raise the purchase order on that, and we have to inform the supplier as well कि there are purchase order है. Now you have to send some advance shipment notice. He has to give the confirmation कि yes ये मेरा shipment है and I'm going to ship the material. So this is the advance shipment notice to you. Then we got the material at your gate. So that's goods receipt. So we have the some goods received as per our purchase order, and we have to accept that goods, and we are saying that goods received is one steps. Then invoice recording, and the second, we received the materials. Now we have to do the invoice recording for that. Then we have to do three-way match. So three-way match says that is very essential in P2P, that three-way match. That is, one is invoice, and second your purchase order, and third packing slip, and or your goods receipt note. So that includes in a three-way match that we have to do, and based on that now we are ready. If that all three documents are in a sync and we have done the three-way match, now we have to do the payment to suppliers. So this is the next steps for payment to suppliers. And once we got the material and everything, if there are certain issues related to quality or some materials are damaged, then we have to raise some debit or credit note on vendors, and we have to adjust against his future invoices. So this entire steps from the 1 to 16 is involved into the P2P, and for each and every steps, as I said, there are lots of job opportunity. So that's reasons it's very essential to understand, and in upcoming videos, as I said, we are going to cover one video on each steps. So this is related to P2P. Now we are here to understand or introduce to you the process of O2C, that is order to cash. And this process is straight away opposite of procurement to pay, P2P. The order to cash process is one that covers the following steps. So here in this process is going to cover the order to cash. If we are doing some businesses, either manufacturing or service, so there should be some product or service for that. Second, there should be some price. Third, quote creation and negotiation. So we provided some quote to customers, and we are doing negotiation with the customers. That also is steps is there here in the O2C. Then the fourth, contract life cycle and order management. So based on the customers we provided him the quote, and based on that we done the negotiation with customer as well. And now we got the contract from the customer as well. Now we have to deliver the material, or we have to deliver our services, and once we deliver that, we have to generate the invoice for that, and we are doing the invoicing for that. Once we done the invoicing, then as per the due date or pay schedules, we got the payment as well from that customer. So this is payment receipt. And after that, if there are any issues, and again we have to raise debit credit note for that. So this is the entire cycles of O2C, to order to cash. Sale karna, order se leke, we got the order, then we have to do the sales, and once we done the sales, we got the money as well, and that's we have to apply against the sales invoices. That entire steps is involved into order to cash. ऑर्डर टू कैश में अकाउंट रिसीवेबल जो एक बड़ा वर्ड है, P2P में अकाउंट्स पेबल. So in this entire field is there are a lot of opportunity in the market. So O2C में अकाउंट रिसीवेबल AR का मैक्सिमम पोर्शन जो है, दिस इज ऑल नोन एज AR प्रोसेस एज वेल, अकाउंट रिसीवेबल. So it's going to be part of O2C, order to cash. So this is all related to the O2C, order to cash. Now here we are going to discuss about the introduction of R2R. R2R says that record to report. तो जो भी ये रिकॉर्ड जनरेट हो रहा है फ्रॉम प्रोक्योरमेंट टू पे साइकिल में, ऑर्डर टू कैश, so based on that report, we have based on that records, we have to generate certain reports which are going to give the clear pictures to the management. So that's all is covered into record to report. So if you see the steps, what's involved into the record to report is that extract data from transactional systems. So we have to extract data from the systems to do the analysis and create some reports for that. Ensure compliances with accounting standards. So we need to ensure that that compliances should be as per the accounting standards, AS. So that's reasons that reports is very essential. Transform data into meaningful operations, KPI. So here, that data, whatever we are extracting from the systems, from the GL, that's we have to create some reports which gives the KPI, key performance indicators, to the management as well, to understand how the business are going to be and where it's going. So that's reason the transform data into meaningful operation KPIs is very essential, the part of record to report. Determine the best way to present information. So we have to identify some best way where we can able to present the report, what we are data pulling from the systems. Share complete result with internal and external stakeholders. So we have to produce that report to the internal and external stakeholders. जो business management team है, shareholders है, investors है, उन लोगों के लिए we have to provide the reports. So based on this record to report, we can able to provide that. So that's one essential part of the R2R as well. Engage stakeholders dialogue. So here we have to share the report with the stakeholders, and we have to discuss that report with the stakeholders. So that's the reason we have to keep engage the stakeholders into the business, and they are willingness to do that based on the certain reports and certain results what we are showing to them. So that's reasons R2R is also the one critical function in finance and accounting or into the businesses. So making this report as streamlined and easy to follow helps companies make decision and operational adjustments based on credible and accurate data. It also helps them maintain credibility and compliance with all the satellite members of their organizations. So as I said, this is very essential from the management standpoint to understand that the R2R are there to play a very critical role to provide the report, and that reports they generate based on the records, and the records what are there is already generated through the P2P O2C, and based on that they provide the reports to management and to organizations to ensure the compliances and credible and accurate data to them, to identify the key performer indicators of the organizations. So here that's from the R2R standpoint. So we have covered here one is introduction of the P2P, procurement to pay. Second one is for the O2C, that is order to cash, and the third one is R2R. So these are the most critical three processes into the finance and accounting, and this is the introductions about that. Now here is the last slides where we can able to understand that how many job opportunities is there into the market. for each and every processes. So as I already said in the starting slides, so it's very essential to understand all these three processes, because for each and every processes there are huge opportunities are there into the market. So here P2P, procure to pay. So just go into the Google and search P2P jobs available into the market. Then you are able to know the what's job opportunities are there into the market. And this is a today's search on the Google. It's not that much old as well. So if you see here, 1,384 P2P openings, Naukri.com. So as I said, key P2P is P2P, O2C, and R2R. This is a huge function, and this is the three most critical processes into the finance and accounting. And for each and every processes, there are a number of job opportunities available into the market. And this is the best example to prove you. So it's how much essentials to understand from the accounting and finance standpoint. So if you see around 1,384 job openings are there as per Naukri.com. In if you see from the another slides again, P2P jobs in India, so around 1,534. Here 116 as in Mumbai. So this is just one example to make you understand that these fields and these areas are very essential. And as we already said that these channels are going to give the more clarity to the working peoples or the uh, people who have the interest into this field and they want to make the career. So that's reasons from the career standpoint, and it's a job oriented channel. So we are going to give the more of providing videos related to that. So that's reasons we have covered here how many job opportunities are there into the market, and to make you understand that for each and every steps are how essentials into the finance and accounting, and for each and every processes, whatever steps are there. So for each and every steps, we are going to create a more videos for that. So now, if you see from the order to cash, and if you see 838 jobs as per the Naukri.com. Again, if you see in Bangalore itself, 1,029 jobs are there, and the last is very beautiful. As per the job skill, 93,160 O2C jobs opening in India. So the huge numbers are there. So that's reasons I'm saying that. So each and every processes are very critical, and there are n number of opportunities are there in the market. And we are here to give the in-depth knowledge about each and every processes from our next video. So based on that, I hope you guys are able to understand that and you can able to uh, get the knowledge for that. So from R2R standpoint, if you see in R2R as well, around 3,071 R2R openings, 878, and again if you see 1,016 jobs available into R2R field as well. So here we have covered the most critical three important steps what's available into the finance and accounting, and for each and every steps how it's going to be important to understand into the finance and accounting field. And this is just a brief introductions about all the three most critical processes, why that processes should be there, and what's the importance for that, and what's the process flow for that processes. And last, we discuss as well how many job opportunities are there into the market. So it's very essential to understand all these processes, and for each and every processes, for each and every steps of that processes, there are a number of job openings in the market, and we are going to cover, and we will ensure that for each and every steps we are able to create the videos, and you guys are able to see your career, and you can able to create your future career into that all processes. So that's all from the introductions part. So very soon we are going to uh, provide, or we are going to upload more videos related to all these steps, and we're going to cover one by one. So thanks for viewing this and watching this video, and would request all the viewers to subscribe our channel for further videos, and those has already been subscribed, thanks a lot for them, and thank you. And we are going to provide the more videos for that. So thank you.